To have my home just kind of crumble like that makes you realize what you have when you have it.
People are now cleaning up from this weekend's severe storms.
Plus, an underground fire causes chaos in downtown Madison. What we know ahead.
And President Trump's latest remarks on Washington, D.C. crime, how the city's mayor is reacting.
Well, good morning, and thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Michelle Renee Quinn, filling in for Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. Hope you were able to make the most of your weekend.
Absolutely, and it has been a wet one.
That's right.
You can see it behind us. This is live, you guys. You can see the flooding. It is wild.
Yes, so obviously lots of people across southeastern Wisconsin dealing with that. And this morning, crews are beginning storm cleanup across the area.
The torrential downpours caused cars to be stranded across Milwaukee and surrounding suburbs, and even forced officials to shut down the state fair early. We Energies is currently reporting that over 9,000 customers are still without power this morning. Plus, portions of the state are still under flood warnings through tomorrow morning. But let's check in on southeastern Wisconsin. Are we out of the woods yet?
Well, we're not done with the rain as far as the next couple of days go. I just don't think it's going to be as heavy as what we just saw, luckily. But flooding is still going to be a concern. They did remove most of the area from the flood watch that we had. This is over Saturday and Sunday. Rainfall estimations. The Milwaukee area was definitely hardest hit. That was the yellow. They saw anywhere between about 9 and up to 11 inches. But we also had some local flash flood warnings too across Grant County. Near the Prairie du Chien, Boscobel, Lone Rock, and Platteville areas, about 5 to 7 inches of rain was reported there. We had a lot of heavy rainfall across Dane County, a lot of lightning and thunder too. Again, it's not going to be as heavy today, but we do still have some areas that are dealing with a flood warning. That's for the most part out of our area into Waukesha, Milwaukee, just to the east of Watertown and Juneau, but it is in effect for far eastern Jefferson County. We've got a few showers and storms, not as heavy nor as widespread as what we just had, that's going to come through later this evening, tonight, and into tomorrow. Foggy start. We'll talk about when this will lift and more on the rain coming up.
Savannah, thank you. And as cleanup efforts continue across our area this morning, officials urge drivers to stay alert and drive carefully. The Grant County Sheriff's Office warns commuters and residents to prepare for potential flash flooding. Their 911 center has already received multiple calls reporting flood-related incidents. Authorities also encourage everyone to check on family, neighbors, and others who might need assistance. One resident shared with us an up-close look at the storm's destruction.
What was in here?
I lost a lot of my Christmas ornaments, which
Probably were passed down.
A lot of them were passed down, and some of my precious moments that my parents gave me.
As storms continue Sunday into Monday, Boscobel Fire Department is reminding everyone how to stay safe during
the flooding.
Officials in Iowa County are also asking drivers to give themselves some extra time and report any road blockages. Commuters can notify the Emergency Management Office by calling 608-930-9500, then press option 2. But just remember, debris is not the only thing that can halt your travel this morning, as roads may also still be flooded. If you do see a flooded road, just remember, turn around, don't drown.
Right now, downtown Madison residents are seeing their power restored after a chaotic weekend.
What it is? No.
An underground fire shot smoke and debris from manholes. Residents heard a loud noise, then their power went out shortly afterward. The outage affected people from West Washington Avenue all the way to State Street. Barb and Karen experienced the noise firsthand from their living rooms at the Capitol Lakes Retirement Community on Main Street.
All of a sudden we heard this incredibly loud noise that was not a car accident, but more like a really loud boom.
Kind of like dropping one of the huge garbage disposals from the 5th floor, one of the dumpsters, and just dropping it.
Madison Fire and MG&E quickly responded to the electrical incident by temporarily shutting off the power grid.
Happening today, the Sun Prairie School District is set to host its first board meeting since the former West High School dean was charged with sex crimes. 30-year-old Robert Gilkey Meisigeyer was charged with 2 counts of child sexual exploitation. According to the criminal complaint, police began investigating after someone claimed to have seen explicit messages being exchanged with a student. That's in addition to ongoing rumors that Gilkey Meisengeyer was allegedly meeting with another student. The school board meeting is set to begin tonight at 6 p.m.
A former vice president of the Goodman Center will appear in court today. Dwayne Powell faces accusations of embezzling over $600,000 to cover gambling debts and other personal expenses. He is charged with 2 counts of uttering a forgery and 9 counts of theft of movable property. He pleaded not guilty to the charges. Powell worked at Goodman since 2010. He allegedly embezzled funds between April 2021 and June 2024. He is scheduled to appear for his pretrial conference today at 1:45.
Turning now to some national news happening today. In just a few hours, President Trump is set to hold a news conference to discuss crime in the nation's capital. Today's discussion comes after the president began deploying federal law enforcement throughout the D.C. area and has been threatening a federal takeover of the city. Over the weekend, the president posted on social media that, quote, "The homeless have to move out immediately." D.C.'s Mayor Muriel Bowser has blasted the move.
We are not experiencing a spike in crime. In fact, we're watching our crime numbers go down.
Trump also promised to provide more housing for the city's homeless population, but said that it would be, quote, far from the capital.
Looking ahead, a high-stakes summit between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin will take center stage in Alaska later this week. The two leaders will meet to discuss a potential Russia-Ukraine peace deal. CBS News reports that Putin requested the meeting. White House officials say they are still finalizing the summit details, but indicate that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky could also participate in the talks. Over the weekend, Zelensky shared comments about the upcoming meeting.
We do not stop communicating for a single day on how to ensure real peace. We understand the intention of the Russians to try to deceive America, and we will not allow it.
Over the weekend, Vice President J.D. Vance and Special Envoy Keith Kellogg met with Ukrainian and European allies in the UK.
Now to the war in Gaza. The Al Shifa hospital is reporting that 6 journalists were killed in an overnight strike on Gaza City. 4 of those reporters were from Al Jazeera, including Anna al-Sharif. Now, the Israeli military took responsibility for the strike and said they targeted al-Sharif for allegedly leading a Hamas cell. Al-Sharif responded to the accusations last month, saying his, quote, only mission is to report the truth. The UN has also publicly blasted Israel's accusations.
A lightning strike turned a couple's hike at Kettle Moraine State Forest into a frightening ordeal. Crews responded near Palmyra and found 2 hikers by a lightning-struck tree after searching trails. Fire officials said both were close to the tree when lightning hit, sending a ground current that knocked them unconscious. The woman woke first, helped the man, then called 911. First responders found the man pulsing but in cardiac arrest. He was taken to the hospital, but at this time we do not know his condition.
Happening today, a man accused of killing a Sun Prairie woman and leaving her body in a farm field will be in court. Gerson Blasno is charged with first-degree homicide, giving false information on missing person, and hiding a corpse. He's pleaded not guilty. He's accused of killing Isamar Valverde Ponce and leaving her body in a field in January. The two were reportedly in a relationship. Police say Blasno was the last person seen with her, and they also say his car was seen in the area where police found her body. One of his friends told police that Blasno threw away clothes in his garbage bin the night Valverde Ponce disappeared. Investigators also found rubbing alcohol and sanitizing wipes in the bin. He'll be in court today at 1:15 for a scheduling conference.
You will likely need to pay more to send packages through the Postal Service this holiday season. The Postal Service plans to temporarily raise prices on certain services to cover extra handling costs and ensure a smooth peak season. The price increase will affect Priority Mail Express, Priority Mail, and USPS Ground Advantage. If the Postal Regulatory Commission approves, the temporary rates would take effect on October 5th. And this is the final week of our Stuff the Bus campaign, and it's underway right now. In partnership with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County, we're helping local students start the school year ready to succeed. From now through Friday, we're collecting essential school supplies to support thousands of kids across Dane County, and we need your help. You can help by dropping off donations at our drop-off sites. You can find all of the details that you need on our website, channel3000.com.
Now, I know it's a little foggy outside, so we've got a few things that we need to take care of. Let's check in now with Savannah Brito. Good morning, live from our studio in Madison.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, the big story is the visibility along with the flooding that we just experienced across a lot of southern Wisconsin over the weekend. Our current visibility in Madison now down to 9 miles, just a little bit of light patchy fog, but there is some pretty widespread and more dense of fog that's across areas near La Crosse, just a quarter of a mile there. Mineral Point down to 2.5 miles, Wisconsin Dells at 7, and Camp Douglas down to 1/8 of a mile right now. So that morning fog only going to last the next couple of hours. By then, we'll see clearing take place, a little bit of sunshine, but I do think cloud cover increases again later this afternoon and evening, and that's when we're tracking more showers and storms that'll return to the forecast. We'll time those out coming up in just a little bit.
Savannah, thank you. Coming up, the Brewers may be on a hot streak, but can they keep it going? We'll have the highlights of this weekend's game just ahead.
And Madison Black Restaurant Week is officially underway this morning. I'll share how you can support some local businesses in the 608.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Welcome back. It's Black Restaurant Week in the 608, and the event is celebrating a big milestone this year.
Our Josh Prider is here now with the story. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, you two. So happening right now, the Madison Black Chamber of Commerce is hosting the 10th annual Madison Black Restaurant Week. That is right, 10 years. It comes as August is Black Business Month. The first Madison Black Restaurant Week was held in 2015, making it the first of its kind in the country at that time. A total of 33 Black-owned vendors are being featured this year, 17 restaurants and 16 food trucks and caterers. These places are offering exciting discounts, special menus, and unique dining experiences to showcase their talents. As part of the week of celebration, the MBRW is hosting special events designed to uplift local business, build community, and celebrate culinary endeavors. So here's what you need to know in the 608 this morning. Madison Black Restaurant Week runs until Sunday, August 17th. You can enjoy flavors of African American, African, and Caribbean cuisine while you discover local Black-owned restaurants and culinary businesses. Foodies can also vote to crown their favorite MBRW experience. You can find links with everything you need to know up on channel3000.com. Tomorrow on News 3 Now this morning, I'll be on location with one of those restaurants taking part this week. And even more reason to, go out and support. Yesterday, due to the weather, they had to cancel their kickoff event. So that's kind of a bummer way to begin this week.
Yeah.
So, get out there, maybe support one of those places for lunch. All of that
Absolutely.
up on channel3000.com.
I'll actually trade places with you so I can go and actually do the interview. And
Deal.
I would love to do that.
You should, yeah. It's going to be a fun week. I mean, I can't turn down any restaurants, so.
Absolutely.
Yes, lots of rich businesses, lots of good food. So
And probably food that you may not have tried before.
That's the thing, too. This is going to be one of those opportunities to try something new, and maybe you'll have a new favorite. You never know.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Josh.
Yeah, you bet, guys.
Always something to look forward to in the 608.
Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out either on social media or email us at in608@wisc-tv.com for a chance to be featured.
Now it's 6:16. It's time to check in with our favorite meteorologist, Savannah Brito. She's here live in our studio in Madison. Good morning.
Good morning. We had a lot of heavy rainfall that led to flooding. This is over the last 48 hours, both combined Saturday and Sunday's totals. Hard hit areas were across Grant County near the Prairie du Chien, Boscobel, Lone Rock, and Platteville areas. Between 5 and 6 inches, and several flash flood warnings were reported yesterday there. And then the hard hit area, Milwaukee, that saw about 9 to 11 inches of rainfall. These are not current observations, radar estimations. We had one current rainfall report that was on the east side of Madison at the Dane County Regional Airport. The official report for both Saturday and Sunday was 2.35 inches. Most of the Madison and Dane County area saw anywhere between about 2.5 and up to close to 4.5 inches of rain. We are still tracking a few more spotty showers today and through Tuesday, and then finally some drier weather. Janesville's down to 7 miles. We're at 9 in Madison. Areas that are dealing with more dense of fog, Mineral Point down to 2.5 miles. Vroke was at 0. Same with Black River Falls, La Crosse, only at 1/4 mile, and Camp Douglas down to 1/2 mile. So there is much more widespread fog just to our west and northwest. It's cooler up there where we have more widespread fog. 63 degrees only this morning in Camp Douglas, 69 in the Dells. We're at 70 right now in Madison, and temperatures later today are going to be very similar to what we had yesterday, the lower 80s. Live look outside of Platteville, very dense fog. You can see that, not a lot. Aside of just looking below at the bottom of your screen, you can see a car and make out some of that. But there is a lot of cloud cover and a lot of fog even there southwest of Madison. 82 is our forecast high. Most of us should be right about the 80-degree mark, and the lower to mid 80s will continue into Tuesday. That's also when we're tracking still a few more showers. The morning and afternoon should be dry. It may be an area of drizzle, but not a lot more accumulating rainfall like what we had over the weekend. I don't expect it to be that widespread. But later this evening into tonight, more rain's going to move in. I think more widespread for areas southeast of Madison. But then we've got additional showers Tuesday afternoon and into the early evening, say around dinner time, that'll move through. Some of that could produce not only heavy rainfall, but also some gusty winds. So maybe a few stronger storms cannot be completely ruled out tomorrow. 80 and dry by Wednesday. I think we hold on to that drier pattern for the latter half of the week, but then maybe a little bit more active weather returning for this upcoming weekend.
Football season is back, and last night the Packers kicked off the preseason at home against the Jets. Let's take a look at some of these highlights here. The Jets struck quickly, scoring their first touchdown within the first 9 minutes. But in the second quarter, the Packers added a 3-point field goal, but the Jets responded with another touchdown, ending that half with a 14-3 lead. Then we go now to the third quarter, where the Jets extended their lead with another touchdown with just 6.5 minutes left. And in the final quarter, the Jets scored a field goal less than 1 minute in before the Packers answered with a touchdown of their own. The Jets sealed their victory, though, with one more field goal, finishing the game 30-10.
Yes, but there's a lot of things that we absolutely need to clean up. I guess the encouraging thing is that I feel like a lot of these corrections, I mean, we can correct, but we have to go do it, and we have to be urgent about that. So, you know, it wasn't great, but you got to live and you got to learn and you got to move on.
And despite the flooding, the Brewers still at home playing against the Mets. The Brew Crew down 1 point, things starting to turn in the 5th inning. William Contreras at the plate, cutting the score to 1, and later, bottom of the 8th, Mets still up 1, but that would change. Joey Ortiz with a shot down right field, bringing in Bryce Terang. Game now tied 6-all. Then, bottom of the 9th, things are turning magical. Isaac Collins at the plate. He closes the game out with a solo walk-off homer. Our Brew Crew winning spectacular fashion. 7-6 is your final score.
And after several straight wins, though, can the Brew Crew continue their streak into the double digits? Well, be sure to tune in to TVW Channel 3.2 tomorrow night at 6:40 to find out.
And still ahead, we'll sit down with the Salvation Army to tell you another way about how you can get kids prepared for the school year.
And coming up in our next half hour, a set of twins are getting ready to get back to the classroom. Their surprising admission story just ahead.
But before we head to break, a look at your gas prices this morning. We're back right after this.
Welcome back. Here at News 3 Now, our Stuff the Bus campaign in partnership with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County is underway to help collect essential school supplies for students across the area, but we aren't the only ones helping families prepare for the school year. The Salvation Army of Dane County is partnering with Walmart for a similar effort. And joining us now is Major Christina Sjogren with how you can help. Good morning.
Good morning.
So this is a one-day only event. Can you give us all the details?
It is. So tomorrow at the Walmart, Walmart in Sun Prairie, so August 12th. At the Walmart in Sun Prairie between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. We will be having our annual Stuff the Bus event in collaboration with Walmart.
Yes, and so you guys are looking for essential school supplies, I would assume, here.
Correct. Yeah, anything that you can think of that you know, if you've had children in school before, that they need for a great start to the school year, you can come and drop them off at the Walmart in Sun Prairie, and we will take them and utilize them for the kids that we serve in our sheltering programs and our housing programs.
Okay, and that's between 10 and 6. And what challenges are families seeing?
You know, I mean, I think everybody is aware that it's tough right now in our economy. People are struggling to do a variety of things within their households,
Yes.
and one of them is providing for their kids and the needs that they have for the school year.
Okay, and of course we will share all of these details. We want to thank you so much for being here. We'll share all of these details on our website, channel3000.com.
I was a little nervous. I mean, like, when I first saw it, like, the water was coming up towards the garage.
This morning, historic flooding hits Wisconsin, the area's hardest hit.
Plus, we're continuing our coverage of fallout at the Sun Prairie School District ahead of a school board meeting.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now This Morning on your Monday. I'm Kyrie Lee.
And I'm Michelle Renee Quinn, filling in for Chris Stanford. This morning, communities across Wisconsin are still recovering after historic flash flooding.
Yes, take a look at this video here. Right now, crews and neighbors are working to clear damage and restore what was lost. The floodwaters rushed in over the weekend, catching many people that were at the state fair off guard because many of those floodwaters left cars submerged. Now, let's take a live look now at the Fox River in downtown Waukesha. Right now, the National Weather Service has issued a flood warning there. The Milwaukee Journal reports it flooded its riverbanks after the weekend rain. They're warning to everyone impacted: turn around, don't drown. And of course, we have meteorologist Savannah Brito standing by here in studio. Savannah, what can you tell us about all this rainfall and what can we expect?
Yeah, well, we're expecting a little bit more today and tomorrow, but rainfall totals that were very, very widespread as far as the flooding went. We had flash flood warnings locally. For the most part, that was confined to Grant County across the Madison coverage area. But yeah, the Milwaukee area just to the east of both Watertown and Juneau, that was also a very hard hit area. Those places saw anywhere between about 9 and up to 11 inches. But near Platteville, the Boscobel, Lone Rock areas, they saw anywhere upwards of 5 to even 6 inches. We had an official report at the Dane County Regional Airport, 2.35 inches. So a little bit lower than what we had east and southwest of Madison. And that was from both Saturday and Sunday. So very, very heavy rain. The good news is we were dropped from the flood watch. The only flood bulletins that we have are all east towards the Milwaukee and south of Sheboygan. That's the flood warning that we've been telling you guys about. Those are the only current ones that we do have. We'll time out more rain today and tomorrow coming up.
Savannah, thank you. Families in Wauwatosa are still unsure what their homes will look like once the Menominee River recedes. At one point, the river rose to over 14 feet.
A long stretch of Menominee River Parkway has turned into an extension of the river with homes partially submerged. Tosa firefighters and the DNR spent much of yesterday morning rescuing people by boat. The Baxters are just one of the families along Menominee River Parkway whose homes flooded in an instant.
I was a little nervous. I mean, like, when I first saw it, like, the water was coming up towards the garage, so I called my dad, and I was a little bit nervous since they weren't home, but I think I handled it pretty well. Kind of just stayed on the high ground, but it was a little nerve-wracking.
I was shocked by what I saw. When Braylee called me this morning, and she said, "Hey, Dad, it's getting bad down here, and the water's getting high." So we did a FaceTime real quick just so I could see it, and I was shocked at what I saw.
Special cleanup of debris is expected to start today. Several roads remain closed.
Happening today, the Sun Prairie School District will host a school board meeting. This is the first since prosecutors charged a former dean of West High School with sex crimes. Investigators revealed 30-year-old Robert Gilkey Meisengeyer had sexual content with at least one student inside the school, kept hundreds of clothed and unclothed photos of female students and brought students alcohol in exchange for new photos. All this as district parents are calling for administration to step down. That's as a criminal complaint alleges the district HR department investigated a tip about Gillicky Meisengeyer, but did not report it to the police. The school board meeting is set to begin at 6 p.m. tonight.
Happening today, a man accused of killing a Sun Prairie woman and leaving her body in a farm field will appear in court. Gerson Blasno faces charges of first-degree homicide, providing false information about a missing person, and hiding a corpse. He has pleaded not guilty. No is accused of killing Isamar Valverde Ponce and leaving her body in a field in January. The two were reportedly in a relationship. Police say Blasno was the last person seen with Valverde Ponce. They say he also had his car spotted near the area where her body was found. One of his friends told police that he had discarded clothes in his garbage bin the night Valverde Ponce disappeared. Investigators also found rubbing alcohol and sanitizing wipes in the bin. He will appear in court today at 1:15 for his scheduling conference.
The Dane County Sheriff's Office is continuing its investigation after finding a person dead in a manure pit in Sun Prairie. The medical examiner's office will release the person's name after they notify the family. The sheriff's office says there is no threat to the community.
Happening today in national news, President Donald Trump is expected to address homelessness and crime in the nation's capital. The president made the announcement over social media, saying he was, quote, going to make our capital safer and that the homeless have to move out. It comes as the Trump administration has ordered for an increased federal law enforcement presence in the city. D.C.'s mayor blasted the move and said crime has hit a 30-year low.
Looking ahead to Friday, President Donald Trump is scheduled to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska to discuss a possible end to the war in Ukraine. CBS News has confirmed the Trump administration is open to also including Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Friday's summit over the weekend. The leaders of multiple European nations issued a joint statement over the weekend noting, quote, the path to peace in Ukraine cannot be decided without Ukraine.
In other local news, this morning, the Badger State is mourning the loss of former criminal defense attorney Jessa Nicholson. The former trail attorney took on and won multiple complex cases and was an advocate in the criminal justice system. She also was a frequent legal contributor for News 3 Now and would oftentimes join us on air to discuss some of the Badger State's high-profile cases. She died last week at the age of 42.
The final week of our Stuff the Bus campaign is now underway.
In partnership with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County, we're helping local students start the school year ready to succeed. From now through Friday, we're collecting essential school supplies to support thousands of kids across Dane County. You can help by dropping off donations at our drop-off sites. Find all that information on channel3000.com.
This back-to-school season, some high school seniors are going in with college offers in hand. For some teens in the state, getting into college was as easy as talking to their counselor. Nearly 34,000 high school seniors across the state recently got college offers with no application. It's part of the state's direct admit program. Vivian and her twin sister Emery are incoming high school seniors at DC Everest High near Wausau. Both of them got into UW-Milwaukee through the program.
I do think it's a beneficial program because it takes away a lot of the stress of having to individually apply to schools and make sure you're doing it right.
Under the program, qualified high school students from participating schools are automatically admitted to up to 10 UW universities without ever submitting an application. UW-Eau Claire, UW-La Crosse, and UW-Madison do not participate in the program, but students can still apply to them.
To the Brewers now. Despite the flooding, the Brewers still at home playing against the Mets. Let's take a look at these highlights. The Crew down 1 point, 5-0. But things would really start to turn around in the fifth. Take a look there. A 2-run bomb to cut the score to 1. And later, bottom of the 8th, Mets still up 1, but that would change. Joey Ortiz with a shot down a right field, bringing in Bryce Terrain. Game now tied 6 apiece. Then in the bottom of the 9th, things would turn magical. Isaac Collins at the plate, and he would close the game out with a solo walk-off homer. The Crew win in a spectacular fashion, 7-6. The final. Tomorrow night, the Brewers will play the Pirates on TVW. That's 3.2 at 6:30.
if they had any issues with like parking and stuff with all the flooding that they had yesterday.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking about how people just walked out to see like all this flooding rushing down these streets.
Yeah.
And I'm like people's whose cars were submerged. I'm
exactly. They had to cancel the state fair or ended a day early because of that. So that was
I wonder
unfortunate.
what that field looks like right now.
Yeah.
It's probably still pretty wet.
Yeah, they probably had the top covered yesterday, but I wouldn't be surprised if some came in through cracks or whatever. I mean, who knows? But we're waking up to some flood warnings still, and that's mainly just to the east, Milwaukee, south of Sheboygan, and just to the east of Juneau and Watertown. So those are current warnings. The good news is everyone else got actually dropped from the watch that we had. That was supposed to be in effect until 7 in the morning, but several hours ago they dropped that just because we're not still waking up with heavy rain. There is a little bit more that's in the forecast, not until later in the day, and it's not going to be as widespread as what we saw on Saturday night, and Sunday. Visibility issues out there, a lot of patchy fog, only light in Madison right now, but you can see just west of the city in Madison and western Dane County, there's a little bit more dense of fog. But Black River Falls and Viroqua are both at 0 this morning, just an 1/8 a mile in Camp Douglas. We'll talk about when this will lift and time out on future track those showers that come in later today and into tomorrow.
Savannah, thank you. And coming up in your consumer news, you could be paying more to send packages this holiday season. We'll tell you which carrier is floating that idea.
Also ahead, it's Madison Black Restaurant Week. It's officially underway this morning. I'll share how you can support some local businesses in the 608.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Welcome back. We're back with some consumer news this morning. If you're planning on sending a package this holiday season, listen up. The U.S. Postal Service has proposed a temporary price hike this upcoming holiday season for some priority and Ground Advantage package services for retail and commercial customers. The increases range from 30 cents to $16, depending on the zone and weight of the parcels. The company says the price adjustments will help cover extra handling costs to ensure a successful peak season. If approved, the temporary rates would go into effect October 5th through January 18th.
The cost of gas could soon go up if the EPA no longer regulates carbon pollution from cars and trucks. The Trump administration says rolling back emission standards on transportation will save consumers money. But the EPA's own analysis shows rescinding fuel efficiency standards and disincentivizing EV ownership could increase gasoline demand and lead to higher prices at the pump.
Right now, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is conducting an audit in Kia's response to a recall. Earlier this year, Kia recalled more than 137,000 SUVs. The company offered a fix for owners of Kia Seltos and Soul vehicles, but dozens of people complained, saying the remedy didn't work.
Dermarite Industries is recalling some of its over-the-counter antiseptic soaps and cleansers. That includes DermaClean and Clean Foam. The FDA says the recalled products may be contaminated with bacteria that could have a serious or life-threatening infection. Patients are urged to contact their healthcare provider if they experience any adverse effects after using these products. Now in your weekend box office report, horror film Weapons topped the box office this weekend, hauling in more than $42 million. It beat out the long-awaited comedy sequel Freakier Friday, which debuted at number 2 with $29 million. And the Fantastic Four: First Steps is still soaring at the 3rd spot after pulling in over $15 million. Savannah, if you had to watch one of these at the box office, what would it be?
Definitely be Freakier Friday. I think I'm going to see that over this upcoming weekend. So that one looks really good. All of them look pretty good. I'm just not a fan of horror movies. We had a lot of flooding, a lot of heavy rainfall over the weekend. We did see temperatures, though, fall in areas that saw a little bit of heavier rain overnight. For the most part, where the more dense of fog is, that's where there's also cooler temperatures, west and also northwest in Madison. We're still holding on to 70. You can see the orange. Those are the warmer temperatures. But then you go up to Black River Falls or Viroqua, and temperatures are down into the lower to mid-60s there. We do have a couple of warmer nighttime lows, though, that are going to be in the forecast the next couple of nights, and more specifically once we get towards the weekend. The big story this morning is the fog along with the flooding. This is a live look outside of Platteville. The lowest visibilities are all to the west and also north of Madison, but we do have some light patchy fog across Dane County right now too. 82 is the forecast high in Madison, with temperatures rising. We'll be in the upper 70s by the lunchtime hour. It won't be until later in the day when we're tracking showers that are going to move back in. So this morning, aside of maybe a drizzle with the higher humidity levels and fog, that can't be ruled out, but the heavier and more widespread rain, that'll track in later tonight and be more widespread southeast of Madison. This is late tonight into early Tuesday morning. I do think we'll see a line of showers and thunderstorms develop and move in later tomorrow afternoon. This bringing maybe some gusty winds and also pockets of heavier rain. We're not expecting much more after that. We dry up, which is good news. Wednesday into Thursday, we're expecting drier weather to move back in. So this is over today and tomorrow. We're only expecting maybe a couple tenths up to a quarter or half an inch across most of the area. There might be a few places that pick up 3/4 of an inch, but nothing like what we just had. There were areas across Grant County that had flash flood warnings and anywhere between 5 and 6 to 6.5 inches. So aside of today and then into tomorrow during the day, we have no rain chances Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday going forward. And even over the weekend, Saturday looks to be right now the drier day. Might see some more rain move in by Sunday and into early next week. That's when our next storm chance is going to return, but plenty of drier days, allowing everything to dry up. The only flood warnings that we have are just to the east of Juneau and Watertown. It does include eastern Jefferson County and then areas near Waukesha and Milwaukee, but we were removed from that flood watch, which is some good news.
All right, so things hopefully drying out fairly quickly.
Yeah, by midweek.
Well, if you want Savannah to plan your day, she'd love to do so. You can record a video, send a picture, or send an email. Share your name, where you live, and send it our way. You can send that via website, First Warn Weather app, Facebook Messenger, or email. And watch around this time every morning to see if you come on the air.
All right, well, now to the 608. It's Black Restaurant Week, and the event is celebrating a big milestone this year.
Josh Sprider is here now with the story. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, you guys. Right now, the Madison Black Chamber of Commerce is hosting the 10th annual Madison Black Restaurant Week. That's right, 10 years. It comes as August is Black Business Month. The first Madison Black Restaurant Week was held in 2015, making it the first of its kind in the country at that time. A total of 33 Black-owned vendors are being featured this year, 17 restaurants and 16 food trucks and caterers. These places are offering exciting discounts, special menus, and unique dining experiences to showcase their talents. As part of the week of celebration, the MBRW is hosting special events designed to uplift local business, build community, and celebrate culinary endeavors. So here's what you need to know in the 608 this morning. Madison Black Restaurant Week runs until Sunday, August 17th. You can enjoy the flavors of African American, African, and Caribbean cuisine while you discover local Black-owned restaurants and culinary businesses. Foodies can also vote to crown their favorite MBRW experience. You can find links with everything you need to know up on channel3000.com. Tomorrow on News 3 Now this morning, I'll be on location at one of those restaurants taking part this week, making you folks jealous back here in the studio.
Yeah.
That's what I do best.
Yeah. That's what you do best.
I'm always down for a little field trip or two, you know.
Gotta try some new things, you know.
Absolutely.
It's never too early for breakfast on this shift. So.
Oh, I agree with that one. As the live reporters, yup.
Yes.
Anytime.
Yeah.
We just actually tried some food from the House of Creole when we were on our work trip.
Awesome.
And so that was very good. And I'm sure that there are amazing restaurants here at our very home that we could get that taste of culture as well.
Yeah,
so
plenty to choose from, and it's a good way to support local. So get out and do something new.
I'm excited to see what you have up your sleeve this week. So
You
we'll see.
never know,
You
right?
never know.
feel free to bring back a plate for...
If there's some left.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Josh.
You bet, guys.
Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out either on social media or email us at in the608@wisctv.com for a chance to be featured. Coming up in the morning sprint, why you may want to invest in an air purifier.
But first, we want to wish a very happy birthday to Paisley. She's turning 3. Happy birthday, Paisley. It's time for the morning sprint.
Residents of southeastern Wisconsin are cleaning up after a weekend of torrential rains and flash floods. More than a foot of rain fell on Saturday night, causing streets to flood and prompting the state fair to close early. According to the National Weather Service, as many as 13 inches of rain fell over the Milwaukee area.
The Sun Prairie School Board will meet today. This is the first time since Dean of Students Robert Gilkey Meisengeyer was charged with child sex crimes involving Sun Prairie West students. Parents are calling the administration to step down amid the district's HR investigating a tip but not reporting it to police.
Gerson Blasno, the man accused of killing a Sun Prairie woman and hiding her corpse, is set to appear in court. He is charged with first-degree homicide, giving false information on a missing person, and hiding a corpse. Police found the body of Isamar Valverde Ponce in a farm field in January. He will be in court today at 1:15 for a scheduling conference.
A new study shows that an air purifier may help you fight back against air pollution. A study by UConn Health found people who used a portable HEPA filter at home saw their blood pressure drop, especially those who live near high-traffic roadways. The study highlights how the air we breathe at home impacts our health.
Former Vice President of the Goodman Center, Dwayne Powell, will be in court today. Powell is accused of embezzling over $600,000 to pay off gambling and other personal expenses. He is charged with 2 counts of uttering a forgery and 9 counts of theft of movable property. He pleaded not guilty.
Right now, downtown Madison residents are seeing their power restored after an underground fire shot smoke and debris from manholes. Madison Fire and MG&E quickly responded to the electrical incident by temporarily shutting off the power grid. The outage affected people from West Washington Avenue all the way to State Street.
President Trump is expected to address homelessness and crime in the nation's capital. The president made the announcement over social media, saying he was going to make our capital safer and that the homeless have to move out. It comes as the Trump administration has ordered for an increased federal law enforcement presence in the city.
Well, temperatures are only going to be in the lower 80s. That's seasonable for this time of year. Few additional showers and storms today, mainly later in the day, overnight, and into early Tuesday. We finally dry up Wednesday. But yeah, we've dealt with a lot of flooding. We had flash flood warnings in effect across Grant County. The only people still dealing with flooding or flood warnings right now is towards Milwaukee. They were hardest hit.
Yes.
Thank you, Savannah. Thanks for watching News 3 Now this morning. Coming up is CBS Mornings.
Our next newscast is coming up at noon, and you can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+.